Tell me about Sisters Are Doing It for Themselves. One could argue it's become the female anthem of your time. Mm-hmm. How did it come about?
Well, it's funny. This is so strange. Again, there's no formula to songwriting. I woke up one morning, as the legendary blues phrase always says, I woke up in the morning and I was in that sort of semi-dream state. And I grabbed a piece of paper and I'd been thinking, I want to write an anthem for women. I want to write an anthem for women. And it just came out, line after line after line, and there it was. Sisters Are Doing It for Themselves. That's how that happened. Strange.
Could you say for me, or maybe sing for me, your own favorite lines from that anthem?
Well, there was a time when they used to say that behind every great man there had to be a great woman. Well, in these times of change, you know that it's no longer true. So we're coming out of the kitchen, 'cause there's something we forgot to say to you. We say, sisters are doing it for themselves.
Did you know from the beginning that it would be big, very big?
No. Everything goes like chicken and egg. So you start with the song, sort of, in this instance, that was a completed song. A lot of the songs that Dave and I wrote together was the two of us working it out. This one really was. I mean, obviously, Dave is not going to wake up and write an anthem for women. He's like, okay, what do I do in this? So, interestingly enough, we thought it would be a really nice thing to partner with another woman. And I think it was Clive Davis at the time, I don't remember exactly, but put a call into Aretha Franklin and suggested that she might be interested in this. So then we get a call to say, yes, actually, Aretha Franklin would love to meet you. Please go to Detroit.
Had you met her before?
No, not at all. So then another adventure opened up, going to Detroit to meet Aretha Franklin to record Sisters. Okay. I can't, this is kind of wake me up, this can't be happening. So, we did that. Amazing.
Now tell me about Sweet Dreams. First of all, would you agree or not, it's probably your best known work?
Oh, absolutely.
No question.
Absolutely.
So when did that happen and how did that happen?
It's really, when you think back, it's a funny story in a way. Because on the day that we started to create this song, Sweet Dreams, I was in a terrible mood and I was really ready to pack it in and to go back to Scotland. I had realised that there was no hope whatsoever and it wasn't going to happen, and that was the mood I was in. So I was
You were thinking, we're done here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was, I was really depressed about it. And Dave was like, he's a very brilliant individual. So he's like, okay, you're down, okay. But well, you won't mind, will you, if I just go and do this? So he started to program a drum beat that was like that, boom, ka, bam, And then I was sitting sort of mooching in the corner of the studio that we were working in. And I heard him doing this, and then I was like, that's interesting. So then I got onto the keyboard, so I started to, okay, I'll play with this. And so it went on, because when you create music this way, you kind of start with a layer of the beat, and then you kind of come in with something else, and then you add something else. And it started with this notion of, somewhat self-deprecatingly, Sweet Dreams are made of this. It wasn't a good story. It was actually very self-deprecating. Who am I to disagree? I traveled the world in the 70s. Everybody's looking for something. And it was a statement about myself, ourselves, and then everybody else. It was about that dreaming of an aspirational dream everybody has, and then whether or not it comes true, whether or not it is fulfilled. And in the case of Sweet Dreams, ironically, what the song was all about actually fulfilled itself, which is so strange when I think about it. Because at the time, I really had no thoughts that the song would have such a sort of powerful trajectory.
Well, it certainly resonates in so many places around the globe.
I know.
Why do you think that is?
You know, it's so interesting. It's something about Sweet Dreams that people latch onto, that they identify with, and whether it's because they want to celebrate a victory from a football match or it's someone's birthday, I don't really know, but there's something in the song that people just love, and it's a very peculiar song because it's like a little mantra. It just goes around and around. It just says the same thing over and over, and people just have identified with it.
So many of your songs are about heartbreak.
Yes.
Why is that?
Because there was a lot of heartbreak, and in my life, I felt very heartbroken, and I think many people do feel heartbroken. I think it's
biggest heartbreak?
Biggest heartbreak? Oh, I don't even want to think about my biggest heartbreak, because my biggest heartbreak was so incredibly rough. You know, losing my child, to be frank with you, delivering a stillborn baby. You know, that's probably the most heartbreaking thing that could happen to anyone. So that's the lowest point of things. But certainly a lot of romantic heartbreaking relationships that never really came into fruition. Living in a lifestyle, being on the road, being quite isolated, you know, kind of brought a lot of baggage to the table, I think.
Being on the road, being isolated, being lonely, you didn't use the word, I did. Did you go through a period where you felt like, in retrospect, that you had too many partners, bed partners and otherwise?
Whoa, you came right to the quick there. No, it's just too I don't know, I don't even want to go there. It's just so painful, you know. It's just like, I don't want to really go into my relationships that failed, because they're painful. So I'm now in a really stable, beautiful relationship, and so happy, and it's just like everything that went before me, do you know, I don't even want to think about it.
I can understand that. But where I was going with, I think many people don't realize how really difficult it is to be on the road, even when you're successful. There's a loneliness to it.
Oh God, yes. And the other thing is that there's a camaraderie with men. It is a man's world, very much on the road, and I love the company of men. I think I get on very well with men, and I'm talking on a platonic level here.
God bless you.
Yeah, you know, I like men, I love men. And I admire men, you know, when I see like this kind of extraordinary team spirit that you have to have on the road, for example. For example, all the technicians in the crew, they, you know, when they set it up, and all the lights and the sound, and they work so damn hard. And they come into town, they set the whole thing up for you to do your show. I mean, I have such gratitude and such appreciation for that kind of very arduous lifestyle.